Hey guys, and a very warm welcome to Friday Fretworks. This week's episode is going to be a little bit different in that I'm going to be unboxing and giving you my first impressions of some gear that I've been lucky enough to have arrived while I've been away. For those who don't follow my Facebook or Instagram pages, I've been in Copenhagen over the weekend picking up a rather special guitar, of which there will be an episode to follow. But I've got home to a couple of pedals, one of which included is from a couple of weeks ago, but I thought it'd be cool to check in today. There will be dedicated videos, demos of these pedals following very soon, but I know it's quite a big thing to the whole unboxing kind of process, and I guess giving you first impressions as to what you think of them when you first plug them in, which is quite a cool moment for any, gearhead like myself. So, without further ado, we shall go over to the unboxing table, which in this case is doubling up as a footrest, and open them up and see what they look like. So here we are at our makeshift unboxing table, which, as you can see, very neatly doubles up as a footrest ordinarily. But the most exciting part is the three parcels sat in front of me. So, as I said, I've been in Copenhagen over the weekend, and I've arrived home to these two parcels here. This one is cheating a little bit. It's not the newest. I got this a couple of weeks ago at the Birmingham Guitar Show, where Adrian Thorpe was kind enough to give it to me to use for the set, and I guess enjoyed what he heard, so I came away with it. But it's pretty new in the grand scheme, so I thought it would be a nice chance just to kind of, as I said, unbox them, see what the packages include, and obviously kind of first impressions as to then how they sound. So, to start at the start, we have this bad boy, which, incidentally, if you've not had any parcels arrive from Greece in the past, the stamps are amazing. I'm not sure who this guy is, but yeah, you don't get stamps like that over here, so very cool. So, the story behind this one, as I try and open it, is a couple of months ago, Panos at VS Audio Effects in Athens in Greece was kind enough to send me the, at the time, relatively new pedal called the Royal Flush. If you haven't seen the demo of that on my YouTube channel, do check it out. But at the time, I mentioned to him that I absolutely loved the boost side. The gain side sounds fantastic as well, but it was the boost side particularly that I kind of fell head over heels in love with. So I just happened to mention to him that if they were ever looking to kind of do a single version of that pedal, please do let me know, because I would love to hear it. And then lo and behold, a couple of months later, this thing arrives. Now this is called the Straight Flush, and as far as my understanding would have it, is the single version of the Royal Flush. I don't know whether we've got any instructions. We haven't. I think this is very new, hence why I don't know whether this is even maybe a production prototype. So a big thank you to Panos for sending that over to me. That is very exciting. Right, let's get that out of the way. So we have the VS Audio Straight Flush to start off with. The next one is the one with the big garish frightening sticker stuck to it saying customs fee to pay. Now, if you've ever bought anything from the US before, you may well be familiar with the fact that very frustratingly, you do tend to get whacked with customs charges whenever anything comes in from the US. Now, this has come from Tim at Ramble FX in Hastings, MN. I'm assuming that's Minnesota. And he has marked it very kindly as guitar pedal production sample with the value of $39.99, which I assume is why, instead of being considerably more, the total import came to £15.54, £8 of which was a Royal Mail international handling fee even. So, let's have a look. Tim dropped me an email about this a little while ago, letting me know that he was going to send something in my direction. And again, I'm not sure whether this is even out yet. So, this is very exciting. First things first, we have a MIDI cable, or MIDI converter cable. We have what looks like a TRS cable, maybe? Yeah, we got three, so I'm going to assume that's TRS. And then, the main event. Big shout out to Ramble FX as well. Always absolutely beautifully boxed. It's a really nice package. And always beautifully presented. We get a couple of cool little plectrums. There we go. The Kismet. I hope I'm saying that right. Which we shall have a quick look at the user guide now to give you the kind of official kind of description of it. But this is it. It is a preset kind of overdrive pedal, which can then be controlled obviously by MIDI and with an expression pedal. So if we open up the user manual, which is easier said than done, bear with me. This might be a fast forward job. Nope, we're in. Panic not. Captain Mandarin. Oh, stickers. I always love stickers. 5-year limited warranty, that's cool. Hopefully not going to need it. Here we go. So, Kismet. Let's have a look. Guitar players will always be drawn to the tone of feeling of analog effects. So, in essence, as far as I would understand it, is an analog overdrive, but with a digital heart, I guess, or digital brain, analog heart, digital brain, to offer presets basically. So we've got 4, I would assume, toggleable. I'm going to make up a word, toggleable presets, which we can then cycle through. So that looks very, very cool. Yeah, TRS cable for volume pedal and expression pedal. That's very cool. Awesome. So there is that. And lastly, as I said, I'm going to cheat a little bit with this one because I've had a couple of weeks. But it's a gorgeous sounding pedal that tends to attract a lot of attention online. It is the Thorpy Gunshot. Very cool, very versatile overdrive pedal that, if you saw last week's Friday Fretworks, it was the overdrive pedal used in that. Again, a bit of Velcro set at the bottom of it. The story behind this basically was that I played at the Birmingham Guitar Show in Birmingham, funnily enough, West Midlands, not Alabama, a couple of weeks ago, and ran into Adrian of Thorpy FX. Had a good chat to him. He's a lovely guy who makes fantastic pedals. I just happened to mention in passing that I'd been very close to pulling the trigger on a gunshot on several occasions, and you know, I'd love to try one. That pedal show played a big part in my interest. He then kindly brought one over to soundcheck for our set, the Buckingham set that we were doing later on that day. And stuck around to watch, and I guess like what he heard because he very kindly gave me the pedal. So, as I said, there will be a dedicated demo to follow, not only of this, but of the Kismet and the Straight Flush. But I just thought it'd be a cool little opportunity to get some first impressions and see what they sound like. So, without further ado, let's go over to the pedal board. So, we have the pedals set up on the pedal board. I do apologise that we don't have the Quartermaster looper as I would normally, purely for the fact that I don't have it with me, unfortunately. It is at our rehearsal space, but rest assured all the pedals are true bypass. So, the first pedal in line is the Thorpy Gunshot. Now, I've mentioned this pretty frequently recently, purely for the fact that it is a fantastic sounding pedal, and especially versatile, to be honest, primarily for the fact that it has a simultaneous gain control, as well as what Adrian has called the caliber control. Now, to my ears at least, the function of this is the gain control is a much more mid-ranged overdrive, I guess, not dissimilar from maybe a crank Marshall, whereas the caliber control is much more full range, maybe even more akin to a fuzz or a distortion, I guess, and a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more in your face. Now, the cool thing about these is that they operate independently or simultaneously, so if you want to bring in some of the high end or low end that you would traditionally lose with more of a mid-ranged voice overdrive, as with the gain control, you can obviously then bring that back in with the caliber control. So it's a very versatile, very kind of cool overdrive pedal that has infinitely, you know, more vast array of sounds than you would get with a gain control alone overdrive. So, before we delve too deeply into that, I'm going to give you some reference of my clean tone. I'm using my Yamaha Revstar, the black one that you would have seen in last week's video with P90s. Run it into guitar rig. Sounds a little bit like this. Let's have some fun. Such a gnarly, nasty sounding overdrive. Really cool for that kind of rock stuff when you want to take the top of people's heads off. Moving on to something a little bit more subtle, we have the straight flush, which, as I said earlier, is the single right-hand side, the boost side of the Royal Flush, which I was sent last year. Really cool sounding game side on the Royal Flush even, but it was really the boost side of the Royal Flush that I bonded with, which is what this is. I haven't really fiddled around, that's a new word, haven't really fiddled around too much with the toggle control yet, that's what I was trying to say. Figgle, I like that. But just plugged it in and got a surround straight out of the box, which sounds like this. Very cool sounding pedal. Really looking forward to getting a lot of use out of that one. Moving on to last but definitely not least, we have the Ramble FX Kismet. Now, if you haven't seen my demo video I did of the Marvel Drive, I think it was the version 3, maybe even going back 2 years, really kind of got into Ramble FX in a big way. Tim was kind enough to send over the fuzz pedal that they do, the name of which at this moment escapes me, unfortunately. But again, a very cool sounding fuzz pedal which has the ability to flick between more of a tone bender kind of circuit and a fuzz face. So again, very versatile. But the Kismet has been on the cards for a little while. I'm not going to delve into the preset mode today. As I said, there's full demos of these pedals coming soon. But I wanted just to kind of delve into the live setting, which is obviously just the pedal acting as an independent overdrive, I guess. Sounds a little bit like this. man, that's a cool pedal. That is really nice. Looking forward to getting the presets going on that as well, and really having a proper kind of figgle, to use that word again, having a figgle around with it. So, yeah, man. Awesome. Well, there we go. I shall leave it there for today. As I said, there will be full demos of all these pedals coming in good time. But just thought it'd be a cool little idea for a video, just to kind of delve into what had arrived in the post, if not this week, but, you know, 3-4 weeks ago. So, as ever, thank you very much for watching. I don't know whether you can see my face, maybe, in the gunshot there. As ever, thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe, and I shall see you next week for another episode of Friday Fretworks. Cheers, guys. Take care.